Hey guys, how are you doing? I'm sure you're doing your homework. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. Finishing off all your ILT, your schoolwork. Hey, not on Fortnite? No? You sure? Good. Hey, guys, I just want to talk really quickly. This is not going to be a super long one, this video. The point of me making this is I just want to see something different this coming week with your creative writing. Now, you guys have been doing some amazing creative writing. I haven't given you too many instructions. I've let you kind of go for it, and I think that's important because writing should be fun, and people shouldn't be telling you, I guess, too much about writing in terms of you've got to do it this way and that way. Everything I give you is a bit of a guide just to help you, especially if you're stuck, but there's no hard and fast rules with writing. When you're writing stories, that is, we're talking about stories like fake stories, made up stories, where you're like an author writing a story or a chapter or a novel. There's no real rules. You can break them all. But there are some cool things to use if you're stuck. So I haven't really made you write a certain amount of words or a certain length or do anything. I've just let you kind of enjoy writing because it should be fun. Writing stories should be fun. You get to use your imagination and be creative and do whatever you like. So in saying that, this week, I want to see you guys step it up a little. And what I want to see you guys do is I've given you 3 story starters. Now, in saying that, to be honest, if you want to make your own story up, I don't mind. That's all good. Okay, so I'm not even going to say that you have to use these 3 story starters. But if you're stuck, there's 3 to choose from. So you just use that as some inspiration and write a bit of a story. Now, I haven't said you have to write a paragraph or any number of words or a sentence or 1,000 words. Write as much as you can, write as much as you feel you want to. Just try to enjoy it as much as you can. So with your writing this week, we got 3 story starters, but I want to see you guys utilizing what you've learned over the last couple of weeks of what authors, people who write stories, what do they use to describe things and make things sound interesting? How do they grab your attention? And what things do they use? Now, we learned 2 things over the last couple of weeks. One starts with an S, one starts with an N. They're really similar. Remember, we learned about similes and we've learned about metaphors. Metaphors are much more difficult to come up with. Similes are a little bit easier, but they both compare 2 different things and they make them sound like they are the same thing. Okay, remember, similes use like or as, so as red, as an apple, whereas a metaphor, it's much different. It's like saying the sky was a blanket with holes punched in it, meaning the stars, okay? So you're describing things, metaphors and similes. So I want to see a couple of similes in your creative writing and a couple of metaphors. Now, I've also been learning about having a hero. So an ordinary guy like me, okay, or a girl, an ordinary guy or a girl, whoever, animal, doesn't matter. Put that ordinary person in an extraordinary situation. Give them some random fear, something that they have to face. Okay, so give them something to overcome. And what was the other thing? You've got to make them go on a journey and an adventure and learn something out of it. Okay, or the opposites rule. That's right. Make sure that it's something opposite. Okay, so remember the example of a fish that doesn't like water. Okay, those sorts of things. So just like try to think of something that's opposite. Okay, opposite what they need. All right, so you got to have. I'd like you to have in your story. Try and have an ordinary person or thing or an object or character, animal, whatever, goes on some sort of little adventure, faces a fear of theirs through the adventure. That is an opposite, if possible. That story starters you have to choose from are Oh, up here. I'm sorry. Okay, I should have had this organized. Creative writing, week 5. Okay, I didn't mean to kill her or him. Okay, the air turned black all